So when LinkedIn went down the user interface approach of being closer to Facebook, it aligned itself with social media. So even now it's considered as professional social media. What I see is a major trend towards social media practices happening on LinkedIn. I see more and more people complaining that LinkedIn is for professional connections, for networking. Why am I getting, hey, you're sexy, can I have a date? Or you look beautiful today comments, things like this. And you still do see, even today when you look at LinkedIn, you will still see examples where it is crossing the professional boundary into the social boundary. And I think most people actually forget that LinkedIn is technically still social media, even though it's social media used for a different purpose. So what you just asked me about with being, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and understanding the different audiences, actually LinkedIn is just another variation. Snapchat is for a particular demographic. Instagram is for a younger demographic. Facebook, people below my age are losing interest, and certainly you're not getting teenagers or the early 20s taking this on board. But you're also not getting the early 20s graduating professionals taking on board LinkedIn, because they're using other alternatives as well. So, when I look at this as an argument, you asked me about Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat sort of being under the Facebook umbrella. That's just Facebook protecting their butt in terms of having all of the age demographics. But we have to look at the fact that there are still other social media channels that are out there. And even if let's go back a few years, one that you used to use a lot, Foursquare was considered social media, and it was simply just telling people where you are. It was a tracking device for parents and husbands and wives, and it was a numbers collection game for businesses when you checked in there. All of it's an element of social media. As a business, let's go back to the core of where our topic's going to be. As a business, our focus needs to then be on understanding each one and where it's going to have relevance for our brand and for our teams. Because we put our brand out there every day when we use Instagram. We put our brand out there every day when we use LinkedIn. We put it out there differently every day when we use Instagram, because the content, the visuality of the content is different. But you know what? At the end of the day, the message is going to be the same, right? So the coordination has to be important. So your comment, how well do we have to know all of this? You have to know your demographics of your platforms. You have to know how that relates to your audience. You have to know what purpose it relates for, because let's think, if we want to get new staff, LinkedIn's not where we're getting them from. But we are going to get them from Instagram, and that's where people see and they communicate with us. But that's not necessarily our personal favorite choice of social media. But if we ignore it, we ignore the possibility of reaching the target demographics that we want.